Hello. Can you hear me okay, Michelle?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Cool, yeah. Let's wait a couple minutes and see who else shows up.
Okay. How are you today?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. I'm tired. I'm ready for bed.
Where you're at?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, so you're mountain time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's 10
Where are
o'clock.
you?
I'm in Florida, so it's 10
Oh,
o'clock here.
it's way late there.
Oh, you know.
That's way past my bedtime.
I mean, I go to sleep late too, but somebody, I think it was Eve. Eve? Yeah, Eve. Yeah, she's there. Eve was saying, I didn't realize it was mountain time when I signed up for the group. Hi, Eve.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. But I think that was the latest one because the earlier times would have been too early for me.
Yeah.
So when Eve said it's 6 o'clock mountain time, I'm like, oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice it
Yeah.
at first too.
So
I didn't notice it either at first, and then I was looking at it again
yeah.
to make sure I had the right time. I'm like, oh, wait, if it's that time, I can't go.
I had already signed up for the group. So say what? It's not that bad. I assumed everybody in the group would have been for, like Eastern time.
Yeah.
Where are
I
you
didn't
from?
realize, everything was just mountain time. So say what?
Where are you from, Yasmin? Is it Yasmin?
Yeah. Originally, I'm from Trinidad, in the Caribbean.
Trinidad. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah.
And now you're in the East Coast?
Yeah, like 40 minutes, 20, no. Well, it depends on how fast you drive
Yeah.
to Orlando.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the suburbs. Yeah. I don't like the big city. It's too busy. It's too much traffic.
Yeah, that's true.
A couple semesters ago, I had we were doing meetings like this, and everybody in my group was in a different country except for
Oh.
me and one other girl. And one of the guys was like 4 hours ahead of us. So like
Oh, wow.
when we'd meet at 8
Oh.
o'clock at night, it was like 2 in the morning or
Oh,
something like that.
Wow.
I felt so bad.
My financial accounting class, the one I had before, there was one student in the Zoom in the group, and he was from somewhere in Africa. And we would meet at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We were all Eastern time. No, there was a couple of guys from Texas, which was fine. They were like 1 hour backwards. But it was like 2 o'clock where he was. And then sometimes he didn't have a good internet service.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we felt bad for him because he missed half of the meetings.
Oh man.
Yeah, and
that's
you would
hard.
get points for attending the meeting, and he was never there. I think he
Oh.
did maybe one meeting. Yeah, kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's hard. How many
What are
people
your-
do we have
Hi,
in our group?
Dario. How are you?
I think only 4.
Is there just 4 of us?
I think so.
No, I think I saw some. Was it the name
Damaris?
Steven?
Damaris is supposed to be here, and
I thought she said
Steve-
she's not supposed to be in our group. She's supposed to be in a different group. I thought that's what she
there's
said.
Stephen. Hi, Stephen.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, hi. So, what you were saying about Damaris? Eve, was it you?
Different group.
She did.
there was-
She's in group 3 that meets at the same time as we do, but it's split into 2 groups.
Oh,
So I think it's just us 5.
it's just us. Okay, so then we're good.
Mm.
So I downloaded the meeting agenda, and let's see. We're recording because we're supposed to upload a recording. I'm
Where
thinking-
Where can we find the meeting agenda? Does
It was in the, it's, let's see. It's on the same page. Hold on, I'll tell you real quick.
One of the first pages, was it the instructions, was it?
Introduction?
Yeah, no, it's
Introduction,
not in the, I didn't find it in the introduction. I found it.
At the
Hold on.
beginning, when you open up everything, way up on top, it says the
Reading
meeting agenda for
discussion.
each week is there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Wow.
And then there's groups, which you'll see the names of the groups. I kind of go around clicking on everything. So
So like group 4 meeting agenda and then just download. Oh, wow. It's
right.
here.
So whoever
Yeah, also-
volunteers for next week will go over there and get it. You found it?
I need to find the agenda first. Okay.
Okay, so while you guys go ahead and look for that, it'll figure it out because it's there somewhere. My Zoom only works for like 30 to 40 minutes. So
Oh, okay.
if we get cut off here and we're not done, then I'll have to do it back again. So it says here we're supposed to invite someone to offer prayer. How about you, Eve? You want to offer prayer for us to begin? Can you hear me, Eve?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I'll say the prayer.
Okay, thank you.
Our Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for this time that we can call each other and talk about the case. We pray that bless us, that we'll be able to remember everything we've read and be able to come up with ideas to help each other. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Now, okay, so it says begin with a quick synopsis of the case. I suppose everyone read the case. Before we go into that, I had a concern. Now, I saw in the announcements a number of students were asking if
When
the
is it
case study
due?
was due tonight or if
Yeah.
it was due at the end of the week. I sent him
Yeah.
an email and he hasn't responded, so I'm totally lost.
you know, I go by the calendar, and hold on, let me just look at it just to be sure. Because the calendar says,
Tonight.
oh yeah, the calendar says tonight too.
Mm-hmm. But in the
But then if you
introduction,
read, if you read, like Eve says, the introduction, it says you need to discuss it with your group first, and it's due at the end of the week. So I
Yeah.
saw a lot of students were asking him the same question, and he didn't respond, and I sent him
to
an
any,
email.
yeah.
So I don't know.
And let me
It's a
look
lot of
and
work
see
to
if he
do
still has
to get it done tonight. I'm like
Yeah.
at the very beginning. I maybe
Yeah.
have a paragraph.
I haven't even started.
Yeah, me either.
Because
I
we're
was
supposed
just-
to discuss the case. That's the point of the group meeting. So I'm like,
Groups that are meeting in different days too, like after Tuesday. So
exactly.
I was
Yes,
just
people
There
hoping
was
it-
another assignment that was like that too, though, and he still said it was due at the end of the week.
Yeah, I'm thinking
So,
it's
I think
he'll make an exception. He'll have to because
I hope so.
it's all of us. I was wondering if it's just me, and I'm like, no, okay. So, anyways, it says here. Let's go back to what we needed to do. A quick synopsis of the case. Anybody want to volunteer? I think we all read the case, so to just kind of give a summary of what the case was.
yeah. So it says at the beginning of the week to prepare for it, but it's not due till the end of the week. So yeah, I would just go by that.
Yeah.
I'll
Proceed.
do it. So the case was about Mary Griffin and Simon York. Mary had just been was in charge of the vice president of consumer products, and she was over Simon. Simon was had created this marketing brand for the Worlds or the Winter X Games that they officially sponsored and did this whole in-house design and production for their seasonal package of their official cupcakes. And it starts off, let's see, where did it? I wrote it down. Hold on one second. So yeah, so and then shortly after, Mary's boss, John, was that what his name was? John approached her and had given her feedback about Simon and about some behavior issues that had come to his attention, that he had gone into production yelling and screaming at him, that they were messing it up, and it was messing up the brand, and they were going to ruin their deal, and this, that, and the other. But while they were in a production meeting, or he was going over their sales and talking about ways to better the brand, he found a discrepancy in the material that he was presenting, and he called out his employee for messing up in the middle of the meeting, saying how embarrassed he was and what a joke it was and how he can't believe his team dropped the ball on it and blah, blah, blah. So Mary was charged with having to sit down and talk to Simon about his behavior, his recent behavior, and needed to find some ways to improve. It had dropped morale, it had made his team not trust him, and brought all kinds of conflict because of it. So that's kind of a snapshot. Did I miss something?
Pretty thorough.
That was really good.
More or less it.
I'm like, I think I missed something.
Okay, so they said here, what was the main issue? So, well, I think you kind of said it there.
There's a couple major issues, but mainly Simon's behavior was creating conflict within the company, in his own team and the production team.
Anybody else has kind of, what do you think, guys?
I think the big issue is just an issue of his leadership style.
Oh yeah, like what we were doing last week. Yeah.
Right. It's almost like this week is building off of last week's.
Yeah.
Oh, Stephen, I think you're my accountability partner.
Perfect.
Are you? I think so, right? What's your last name?
Richards.
I think you are.
I think so.
So you cannot just randomly choose people.
Sorry, that
There
was
you
very
go.
random. My apologies. Sorry.
Dario is my accountability partner, and Damaris, but I don't know where she's at. So she joined another group. Anyways, she'll be my accountability partner.
Okay, sorry.
So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but yeah, that's the main issue. And like Stephen said, his leadership style. Now the major problem is, they said, why is it important? Well, Michelle said because it's causing conflict in the workplace, and it's affecting the other workers. What's his name? What's the other guy's name?
The one he yelled at, or the boss?
The one he yelled at.
Tom, I think was his name. Tom?
Name. Burton.
Shelburne. What's his first name? Shelburne. John.
Oh, John is the boss, yeah.
John, he was the director of production. Yeah, he's the one who said, I don't care if he's a hot shot, he has just come down here on the floor to order people around.
Because it's not even overproduction, it's a different team. So John is like, why is he doing that to my team? He's not
because
even
John is
boss. Something like that.
So they said here, why do you believe what do you believe is the culture of Derby Foods?
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
What do you think are the guiding principles? What do you think are the benefits that support the culture?
I think respect is one of their biggest culture. Like that's why it angered John, because he, even though they're just in the production and they're not like in management, but still you have to respect your employees.
Well,
Yeah,
I think, oh, sorry, go ahead.
after you, Michelle.
I think just because I've worked in an industry like this, like a manufacturing type company, and I used to see it a lot when I worked there, that if you don't have respect or trust for other departments, then your departments all clash, and then it's like you're fighting your team instead of doing what you're
Working
supposed
together,
to.
yeah.
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 So
Stephen, you were going to say something.
I was just going to say the fact that this behavior is being addressed is evident that their culture is the opposite, that it's a culture of respect, of mutual working together, things like that. The fact that this guy's behavior stands out, that shows that that's not part of their culture. So even though the case study doesn't explicitly say what the company is like, we get an idea based off of what the company isn't.
yeah.
Yeah. And two, because she set up a meeting to speak to him, which we didn't figure out what was the meeting and what was said. I'm thinking that that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had brought it to her attention. It's hindering the production of the company. So if the employees are unhappy, everybody's going around unhappy. So how are you going to get a job done?
Yeah.
It's going to affect productivity in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So
I believe
she's
that.
going to have to, I don't know what she's going to say to him, but she's going to have to put him straight. I mean, it said there that he helped the social media platform, and he designed marketing and whatever he did. I mean, he did help the company. That's his job. But that doesn't mean you have to treat your fellow employees like,
Yeah.
Like badly.
yeah. What do you think, Dario? We haven't heard from you.
Yeah, I believe that like a boss needs to recognize the value that each worker has for that company. And
Exactly. Yeah.
making sure that the boss is recognizing or his work, the production process will be like very, very poor for the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's as a boss, as a leader of a team, there's way you need to speak to people, and his attitude is not becoming that. That's not the way you need to encourage your team. Everybody makes mistakes. We're not perfect. So, and he kind of called him up in front, like Michelle was reading back to us, and he called him up in front of everybody. He shouldn't have. He should have just
Mhm.
apologized and continued with his meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
And since
that's
sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
So since we're talking about respect, Mary and what's his name again? Mary and Simon, they're going to talk, right?
mhm.
So in that meeting, Mary also needs to show that culture. She also needs
Mhm.
to respect Simon and find out what's going on in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Not just like be angry at him for like doing all those things.
No,
So have you ever heard of the when like the Oreo concept, where you have a positive, a negative, and a positive?
I haven't heard of that one.
Like,
That's new.
so my boss always says this to me. He's like, well, whenever you're talking to somebody and you have to provide constructive feedback, you have to make it like it's an Oreo cookie. You have to you have to start with something positive, then you talk about the negative, and then you end on a positive note.
A different
So,
positive note.
a different positive note. Yeah. So that's kind of how Mary has to approach it, as like she has to, you know, give him praise for the work that he has accomplished,
Mm-hmm.
and then talk about, you know, what he needs to do to earn his trust back from his team, how to work well with other departments, things like that. And then find ways to help support him in doing that, and then end on another positive thing,
Mm-hmm.
which
And I
is
think
hard to
she's,
do when you're mad at somebody and you want to be like, what the heck is your problem, you know? But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
and I think she's taken the correct initiative. She's showing respect in the first place by doing this one-on-one in private,
mhm.
not the way he handled it in his situations.
Yeah, that's true.
the thing is, that was that's her goal. But then when her secretary called the other Simon's secretary, the secretary asked like, what's the meeting for? And then the secretary didn't really tell exactly what's
Yeah.
about. And so
Oh,
they have
yeah.
two different expectations going into that meeting. So it's going to be hard for Mary to bridge that and to actually talk about, you know, because Simon is actually expecting something positive about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
gonna be
think he's
hard.
done
Yeah.
anything wrong.
Yeah.
No, for him, he doesn't even see that. He doesn't even realize that he said or he did something wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the difficult part. Let me see what else they have here that we need to discuss.
In regards to the issue of the two secretaries not necessarily communicating with each other effectively, one thing that in my company we do whenever there's, you know, rather than saying like, oh, I have to go get chewed out or we need to tell you what you did wrong, it's always referred to as a coaching opportunity. It's not, hey, you did this wrong. It's, hey, let's talk about how you could have done this better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's technically a negative thing, it's done with a more positive spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what
Yeah.
it said in the PowerPoint, the 40 some pages PowerPoint
Yeah.
slides. It's somewhere in there, the coaching, yeah.
Yeah, the coaching thing is good. I've seen it work well. My old company used to do that, where you would have a coaching session with an
Mhm.
employee. Basically, once a month, you would meet together and you would have a coaching session where if the employee had a problem or needed help with something, then he could address it with the boss, or if the boss had the issue, he could address it at that time too. So it works to both advantages.
Yeah. So maybe Mary can use that concept, the coaching
Yeah.
concept. So,
Coaching concept.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's an idea. Let's see what else. What are corporate politics and how can it affect culture? Well, I think we kind of discussed that when we spoke about what the company stands for. That's why, what's his name? I just forget his name. Shelburne, he brought it up to Mary because
Wait.
the company stands for something else, not what
I think corporate politics starts at the top. The owners or the main people at the company have to set
that
the example of how they want things to run, and how if they're showing their employees respect and working with them in a way that they're approachable and they can talk to them and different things like that, then those people are more likely to do it to their employees, and so on and so on. But if you have a company where you have hires up that are like, oh, don't talk to me, I'm going to do things the way I want, but I want you to do it this way, it kind of makes, I think it affects the whole culture of the company, because you don't have a real culture. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, it kind of comes from leadership, kind of
Yeah.
leading by example,
Yeah.
like we say in church.
yeah,
By example. So yeah, if the bosses, the owners or managers or whoever don't
mhm,
give that example, then yeah.
yeah,
While you were talking, I was thinking about an attribute to have empathy. You know? Like a leader needs to have empathy for all the workers that they're working with. Uh, I believe
Dario, excuse me, Dario, could you speak a little bit louder? We can't hear you very well. Oh,
sure.
put a little bit closer to the mic.
I was thinking like a leader needs to have empathy. So the ability to put in the shoes of the worker or of the people that are working with. Because if a leader is not doesn't have empathy, it's impossible that that leader can understand the issues or the worries or even the work that people are doing. And in my work, this is something that always supervisors help us to develop, to have empathy with the co-workers that we have there.
I think it's true. I think you have to be involved or you to a point where you're not doing it, but you're helping the process so that you know for yourself what the process is and that you can show people and you can be I think that's what you're saying, right? Like you have to be in their shoes and know what they're going through in order to be able to be a good leader kind of type situation. Is that what you were saying?
But I understand their situation first and then try to help.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and since we're talking about politics, I think I'm pretty sure they have rules that if you have problems with a different department, you no connection with you. And
Yeah.
so what Shelburne did was he talked to Mary, which was the she's Simon's boss.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also their culture in there. If you have something, if you want to say something about a different department, you talk directly to the manager. So the manager will talk to the employees because he knows them better.
Yeah.
Kind of
That's
chain of
important.
command.
Mm-hmm.
Chain of command.
Yeah.
One thing I always tell my staff, because there's multiple levels of leadership in my company, I always tell them that as far as the direction of complaining, it can only go up, never down. Like you would never complain about your boss or your coworker to one of your subordinates. You would have to go to the level above
Mm-hmm.
you, because it just encourages the wrong type of workplace morale.
Yeah.
Mm,
Definitely.
100%.
Yes.
I agree.
And you see that happen a lot, unfortunately. I feel like I saw it a lot in the old company I used to work for. Managers were always complaining to their employees about stuff that their boss did or whatever.
Mhm.
And then it rubs those employees wrong. So then they have a bad taste in their mouth for that person because you do, you know? Yeah.
That's true.
That's important.
Yeah. I think you see that often. So it's not just one company. Yeah. It's,
Right.
let me see what else we missed out. What is Mary's role in establishing culture? She's the one who has to set the bar.
Yeah.
And she's the one who's going to correct the behavior. And so
Mm-hmm.
she
Well, and she has to support it too. So
Mhm.
kind of like what Stephen was saying, you know, providing consistent feedback and support for her employees that work under her and help them also do the same.
Okay, this question is kind of interesting. It says, how is she, Mary, working against the culture? And it says, hint, allowing inconsistent behavior, delaying a response to issues. Because when the thing happened in the meeting room, nobody said anything and nobody called his attention about it. So he kind of
Well, I want to say something else. Didn't she notice something else
Before,
happened before that too? And she's like, oh, he's being, in trying to fit in the new role. It's probably just a one time. Let it go. Am I making that up?
No. I read that too.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
it's true. She
Yeah.
knows the same behavior before, but she just didn't do anything about it because maybe she just assumed that it's just a one-time thing. Or,
Yeah, she's getting
No, and then,
the
yeah,
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and he's producing and he's doing a lot for the company. It was what, 150 degrees turnaround or something. So it said 100 and whatever.
yeah,
So
that's
for her,
that's also hard on her because Simon is very valuable in the company, and so she feels like she has to be very careful as well with what she says because they
yeah,
don't want to lose him.
lose him exactly. So she kind of let it pass a few times, but it was, since people are complaining, but she should have called his attention at the very beginning. So it wouldn't have continued. So that's important here, this question.
Something I'm curious about with this case study is we're limited on how much history we have of it, but the impression I got while reading it was that while Simon was an assistant branch manager or assistant over, in the assistant position, there wasn't any evidence of problems then. It was after he promoted. So I'm just curious if this is just a matter of him trying to learn how to be, a higher leader, or if it's, power going to his head, or what the potential causes could be in this.
That's a good point. Was it happening before he got promoted?
Mm-hmm. Or is this
Yeah.
a recent development that she has to correct?
Right.
I imagine it
Kinda
couldn't have been too big of a
It kinda
thing because
escalated
he
when
did
he got
promote.
promoted. Were you saying, Stephen? Sorry.
I was just saying, I imagine that this couldn't have been too prevalent of behavior on his part before because he received the promotion. So,
Right.
I mean, if he was a problematic assistant, they wouldn't have moved him up.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let's
I was
see.
reading in 7 Habits. I think he also mentioned something about I can't remember exactly, but if you value your work so much, you notice if it threatens who you are as well, because that's life or something like that. It's who you are. Your work and who you are is one. And so I feel like Simon felt like if this work is very important for him, if there's something wrong that's happening, he easily got
He takes
angry
it
because of
personally
it.
and is
Yeah.
affected
Yeah.
by it.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I can
probably
see
why.
that, especially if you're passionately involved in a project and you want to see it through to the end and make sure you have a good end result. I can see why somebody would be like, what are you doing? You're messing it all up. But there's a good way to approach it in a wrong way.
Yeah. Or maybe he's going off of prison rules. You go in, you hit the biggest guy so that everyone respects you, kind of thing.
Right. That could be.
Everybody would respect him if he's tough. Maybe, I don't know.
Isn't that one of the questions from last week? If you lead by love or out of fear.
Right.
So maybe he had that kind of approach. Maybe.
So I saw the page. It says work-centeredness. Their fundamental identity comes from their work. I'm a doctor, I'm a writer, I'm an actor. Because their identity and sense of self-worth are wrapped up in their work, their security is vulnerable to anything that happens to prevent them from continuing in it. And so Simon felt like his identity is threatened because of those mistakes. That's why he got super angry, that he couldn't even control it. And in the video, I saw that when you're really angry, you don't think rationally. You just say a lot of bad things, and it just escalates.
Yeah, but the thing
that
is,
video was really good that he did.
Yeah, but the thing is, he never apologized afterwards to anybody. He just kind of continues with it. So that's the mistake he's making. So it's affecting everybody. His team and the other team as well, because the other guy is not even on his team.
Right.
Yeah. So do you guys think we have enough information to do our write-up?
I think so. One question I had about the rubric of the write-up, I saw it mentioned specifically that it should be no more than 1,500 words. But on the other end of the spectrum, like, I'm not just trying to hit the minimum, but I mean, I want to kind of have an
I
idea of
feel like
what I should shoot for.
I did mine today and it was like 1,100 and something words. I want to
Mhm.
say that I saw in that first video he posted, he said at a minimum of, I can't remember if it was 1,000 or if it was
1,000.
1,100. Was it 1,000?
Okay.
1,000 to 1,500. So if you
Yeah.
did
Okay.
1,100, you're fine.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's helpful,
I don't think
I
I
think-
can get more than 1,500 words anyway.
especially when it's only a 2-page long case study.
Exactly.
Well, it was hard, but kind of once you kind of get on a roll,
Right.
like
Hmm.
it's not as bad. It's pulling the supporting information too and citing it and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Oh yeah, and he said he
Sure, you
wanted
have every
cite-
section included.
and then he wanted a cited work page or section at the end.
Oh, at
Where
the
do you-
end, I put all my sites
I don't think it doesn't matter. He just
on
said
at the paragraph. End of every paragraph is what I did.
Or maybe
I thi-
just put it in one page.
I think he
where
was
it's cited,
saying in
so
the
it's easy.
video to put it at the end because then he had to go back and scan through the essay to find where it was and
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So where did
I didn't
you-
think about that.
What are your sources? Like,
I took stuff from like some words directly from the case report
mm-hmm.
itself. And then I had this other article. Let me see if I can pull it up. It was another one by Stephen Covey.
Mm.
What's it called? I forgot. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'll tell you what it was called. It was called Stepping Something. Oh, why is it losing, like, left my brain? Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find it where I was submitted it.
Oh, you already submitted yours?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Good job.
I don't know about that. Because I was reading the due date of today too.
Today, okay.
Before I read everybody's
Wow.
notes and before I went back and paid attention.
And the
Let's
due
see.
date, so the submission box also closes. And so I feel like if you don't submit it today, I'm not sure how we can submit it.
Oh, because
It's
the due
available
date on-
until October 2nd at 2 a.m. And so
Oh,
if
that
we
is
don't,
tomorrow.
yeah, if we don't submit it, I'm not ready.
Oh, wow.
So how I did mine is I put an introduction.
Mm-hmm.
So like I kind of put what the company was, some of the structuring they had, what Simon's role in was it, and like a small tidbit of what the issue was. And then you do problem analysis. So I listed 2 main problem issues: lack of interpersonal skills, and he was creating division and distrust.
Okay.
And then I listed objects or goals. The other article I used was The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey.
Okay.
So like I put a snapshot in that thing. It has the 5 waves of trust. So like I used that a little bit. And then I listed my action plan for each
Issue.
goal, each
Okay.
objective. But those are the 2 things I used, is the speed of trust and just the
The case study itself.
case study.
So when you said you listed plans, action plans.
So like
Is
my
that-
3, so I did 3 objectives or 3 goals.
Oh,
So like the first one was that he needed to work on his interpersonal skills. He needed to build trust with his team, and then he needed to find new ways to work with other departments.
did you do it in a paragraph or just list like 1, 2, 3?
I did objectives, I just list 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
And then, so for my action plan, number 1 was how he needed to work on his interpersonal skills.
Okay.
And then action plan number 2 was how he could build trust with his team. And then action plan 3 was working with other departments.
I think you covered it.
And then you
Yeah.
do a risk management, basically saying like how you think the outcome will be, and if what do you think the outcome will be, basically.
Okay.
So,
It's really good.
except for I didn't put page numbers,
I don't
so
think
I'll
I-
probably get marked down for my
Was that in the rubric, the page numbers?
well, from the speed of light
Oh,
or speed of trust, I only put page number once.
but you cited it, so I'm thinking what he needed
I
was
cited it, I just didn't cite it at the end, all my cites together.
right. Okay. Well, let's hope it's for the end of the week because
Let
the
us
rest of
know
us
if
will
you,
do it.
Yasmin, let us know if you got an a reply from
Email back from him. Yeah. Okay, I will. I have to figure out now how to send a link to you guys, how to record it once we're done. So I think that's it. We kind of covered everything. We have a lot of information, and Michelle was
Also-
very helpful. Thank you.
Question.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to submit it individually, the video? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The link.
There's
So mhm.
in one of the submission things, you click on it like you're going to take a quiz, and it opens up and you paste the link
Yeah.
inside of it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just
So-
wait on the
So
link.
before we go, who wants to volunteer for next week for beta? To
Did
send out?
anybody? Did you
I don't
guys
know, I
already
didn't
Just
go
sign
back.
up sheet.
I didn't go back and look
on
at
this? I'll pull it up real quick. Hold on a sec.
it. Okay.
I think we have to volunteer twice because they're
It's 14 weeks.
14 weeks.
I think I signed up for week 16 or 6 and 13.
I think
Hold on, I'll tell you what signed up for
I
where.
think might put my name on week 11. I'm not sure.
I signed up on 8 and 10.
So we need a week 4 person.
Where are we?
I don't think I signed up for anything, so I can do next week.
Next week.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
Stephen. Thank you.
Just remember to sign up.
Yeah,
Do
because
you guys know where to find it?
I'm trying to pull it up right now. I'm trying to remember where it is. I could tell you. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot in this class. Woo!
Yeah. Readings.
Yeah,
and
combined
a
with all
lot
the
of
other
different
classes.
things.
So it's under the important grading criteria section. The Google Doc is.
Mm.
So I did week 6, 13. Eve did 8 and 10. Yasmin, you signed up for week 11. So there's 4, 5, 7, 9, and 14. One of us will have to go 3 times.
Yeah, because Damaris was supposed to be in the group. I don't know what happened. Where?
So,
So
yeah, I'll do next week. So 4.
well, we'll take it from there then. After next week, we'll figure out who's missing. Or you guys can go on, and Daria can maybe take a couple, and then we'll figure out who has to repeat or who wants to repeat. Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard was it to set up this conference call?
On
Setting
his
up a Zoom is not hard.
Okay.
Do you have Zoom on your computer?
I mean, I think I do now that I'm in here, but
you just go to schedule a meeting and well,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
8 o'clock is good for you guys, Mountain Time, or what do you prefer?
Yeah, I'm good at 8.
That
Mhm.
works
Yeah.
for me next week. In the future, it might fluctuate, but
Okay,
we'll
we'll figure
address
it out.
that when it
Okay,
happens.
okay, that's fine. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. Have a good
Okay.
night. Yeah.
You too.
Thanks,
And
guys.
then
Good luck.
thank
Yeah.
you guys. You guys have a good night.
Bye.
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 Bye.